James, as you know, one of my favorite things ever is movies and sitting down and watching movies. And one of the best subjects for movies there ever been is baseball. Yes, I love it. But there are so many different ways people take these storylines. Obviously, there's a lot of movies that baseball is a centerpiece, but it's like there's love stories, there's kid stories, there's stories about coming to the United States to play baseball. There's plenty of documentaries. Anyways, there's plenty of baseball movies to be had. And I know yesterday we were talking about it. I said, James, I want to do a top 5 baseball movies. And you said, absolutely, let's do this. And maybe we can come up with a comprehensive list, a top 5 for you guys together. I don't know if we'll be able to come up with it together, but one thing I noticed when I was going through this, James, I don't know how you felt about it. This was actually one of the hardest lists I've ever done. I've got like 20 baseball movies written down. I know there's like 40 out there or something like this. I had to go to IMDb and search baseball just to see what I'm missing. And I was actually incredibly disappointed that some of my favorites were at the bottom of like Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that, which truly bothers me to my core. But I came up with the top 5. What was the experience like trying to figure out your top 5?
It was really hard, especially since some of the movies that I like aren't particularly good movies, and I know we're going to argue about number 5 till the cows come home. But yeah, there's so many great movies, and the fact that I had to leave off some of my favorites is really just shows how tough it is.
Yes, it is incredibly difficult. I have 6 in my top 5. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm just going to screw this. I'm just going to go 6. I can't differentiate. And my problem is I also kind of made like a little list of like my fun baseball movies. I know they're not good, but they're fun. And God, there's just so many different ways to go with this. But let's cut to the chase. James, who do you have as your number 5 baseball movie?
Now, I know that you know that I'm going to put this on my list, but we're going to argue forever. So let's just start it. The Scout with Albert Brooks. I thought about
this. I thought about this the whole time. Is he going to actually put The Scout? But I know you love it. I know you love it so much. I watched bits and parts, and I just realized I never wanted to waste my time.
The reason I love the movie is not because it's a good movie. Number one, I do love Albert Brooks. I think he's awesome. And for any Simpsons fans out there, yes. Hank Scorpio, the greatest character in the history of The Simpsons. But the fact that there is a guy who could pitch and hit and be incredible at both and be the King Kong of baseball reminds me of a certain player in Major League Baseball right now that I had been looking for years watching this movie, and when he came, it just elevated the movie for me. And we're talking about Shohei Ohtani. So Brendan Fraser was Shohei Ohtani prototype.
He was Shohei before Shohei, and like if Shohei got really good, he'd become Brendan Fraser. God, it's such a horrible movie. Number 5 for me, a little better movie. I put it because it's a great movie, well done, well acted, well everything, and Moneyball. You know, it really kind of gets the intricacies of the insides of baseball, the front office idea, and following Billy Beane around. And just a great overall movie. Kind of missed a couple core things, which is maybe that they had a couple Cy Young winners on that team, and maybe best closer in baseball. They had the MVP on the team. They missed a couple things about it, but at the end of the day, incredible movie whenever it's on, and whenever the scene of Scott Hattenberg hitting the home run for a win streak, you just kind of stop and you just kind of freeze, and it's a great job.
Well, the reason I can't put it in my top 5 is for the reason that you mentioned. They had the MVP in baseball that year, Miguel Tejada, didn't talk about him, and they had 3 Cy Young Award winners, didn't talk about him. If their pitchers were Jose Quintana, Marcus Stroman, and pick somebody else, they wouldn't have won a damn thing.
Yeah, there's a couple core aspects to it, but again, it's an incredible story. I think it's just really well done, and the idea of how he changed baseball is very, very well hit, and a complex idea simplified to a point where everybody could understand it, and I love it. And Brad Pitt as Billy Beane, incredible. Jonah Hill nailed it. He had a couple different roles all put together, but absolutely nailed it. And the idea of what it means to be a baseball player, I think they did a good job in there too. Number 4, James.
Number 4, the one that started it all for me, Walter Matthau leading Kelly Leak and the rest of the Bad News Bears.
Love it. Nothing bad to say about that movie. That is such a mess. It's truly exemplifies like the 70s and how you can have kids just drinking, just straight up drinking and cursing, and no one cared, and especially Walter Matthau. Great movie. I actually love the remake, Billy Bob Thornton. I think that's actually so fun and well done, and great job for that time and age. And it doesn't take away anything from the original.
I don't know why whenever I see the original and I see Tanner, all I think about is your son JD.
Saying JD's a little dick.
No, but just he has that fire in him.
Sometimes it's definitely there. It's a lot of fun. I mean, obviously, great movie. My number 4. This is where my tide is. I just couldn't pick out of these two. I couldn't separate them. Field of Dreams and The Sandlot. They both have to be on my list. Field of Dreams. It's funny because when I think of Field of Dreams, I actually don't really think of a baseball movie as much. I think about like a story of like of dad and a son and a marriage and family and kind of Americana, and I love it. I mean, hell, they built a field playing Major League Baseball games because of this movie. I love the movie. Sometimes it can get a little long and slow, and at times you just want to turn it off and turn it back on. But incredible movie. And The Sandlot, I mean, come on, this was the one of those that started for me too. Like I remember going into it with my dad and just talking about Americana, both that movie. You know, the 4th of July scene with the fireworks and the kids, and there's so many one-liners, and such a great baseball movie. And especially as a kid, it's baseball. It's fun. It's great, and it's the storyline is wonderful. I love it. Love everything about it.
Yeah, The Sandlot is one of those movies that didn't get on my list. If I had a 6th spot, it would have been there. Every time I hear forever. You know, it makes me smile. You know, the wink that Wendy Peppercorn gives them. I
Squint.
love that. The chewing tobacco scene when they throw up all over.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. It was just on the outside in.
Beast.
Yeah. It was awesome.
So many things about it, just like you kind of hit you. James, number 3.
Number 3 is one of yours that you had for number 4, Field of Dreams. I love that movie. I love the scene with Archie Moonlight Graham. I think it was awesome. The speech that Darth Vader,
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones gave is one of the best baseball speeches of all time. That should be played at every stadium.
It's hair raising. It gets me whenever they talk about it, and the music behind everything behind it, and you see the players walking up when they pick up Moonlight Graham in the car, and he's talking about about just the kind of like how like it was back in the day, and it starts clicking. That's pretty cool. Like really neat little scene. Number 3 for me, Major League. Probably the worst movie on the list as far as like acting and well done and all that stuff, but such a fun movie. The whole idea of the owner and the hating the team and everything about it is so great, and you created such amazing characters. I love everything about it. Ricky Vaughn, Roger Dorn, I mean everybody about it, and they all have their own little place. And picking the team at the beginning is one of the funniest things in the world when they're trying to get players to play and they don't even want to play for the Indians. Such a great movie.
Well, you mentioned it, so I'll give you my number 2 is Major League. I love that movie. When I played softball, I had a head cover on top of my bat because hats for bats. It's a very important, great movie.
Yes.
There's nothing you can say that's bad about it. Plus, Renee Russo at her peak. Gorgeous woman.
Yes, the library scene. For me, just like when she just gets all mad and when she's talking about her body. Great. Love it. Which is really interesting because you already went to your number 2, which you left a superstar off your list. You left a huge superstar off your list because my number 2, and I don't know which one it is for you, A League of Their Own. Just a monster, incredible movie about time in baseball during World War II. Tom Hanks is absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. I mean, the baseball scenes are great. The storyline is wonderful. It's a movie with a lot of one-liners, a movie that kind of hits you emotionally, the sisters aspect of it, and it's there's really nothing that to be said wrong with this movie. I have yet to ever catch something and I'm like, no man, that doesn't feel right. They nailed it.
Before we get to my number 1, I want to give 3 honorable mentions. Number 1, Cobb. Great movie. Any sports movie with Robert Wool, I am all in on. Number 2, Little Big League. Pete Crow Armstrong's mom plays Little Big League's mom in the movie, which is just awesome. And of course, The Sandlot, just a great movie. I wish I could have put it on there.
Yes, my honorable mentions. It's funny because you gave a couple. I had written down. We didn't even talk about that. Doing that, Mr. Baseball. I'm sorry, but this is an incredible insight into Japanese baseball. And from what I've taught to everybody and what I experienced, it was spot on. It's perfect, and they actually did an incredible job. He's a great player. It's a great view of Japanese baseball, and they nail it. They nail all the stuff about baseball and the cultural differences. And it's pretty cool seeing the Frank Thomas part in there and how he's taking his job and how they added that. And it's real, and how he comes back. Everything about the movie is actually really, really good. Tom Selleck does an incredible job being an older ball player. Great job. Basketball, just a lot of fun. I love it.
Come on,
love it.
Really?
It's just a lot of fun. This is my fun movie. I love basketball. It's so stupid. I love it. Hardball. Keanu Reeves and I mean the kids in that movie. It gets you every time when I do see it. I could go up and down this list. I'm the
waiting.
Battered Bastards of Baseball. Great movie, great documentary. Facing Nolan, incredible movie. Again, another documentary. One I want to watch. Mr. 3000, so stupid, and I love it. Sugar. This is one movie I've heard amazing things about, incredible things about. I've not said it, and I got to say this right now. I owe it to myself to go watch it. The Rookie of the Year, For Love of the Game. I mean, where are we going to go? Like, all of these are so good. 42. Let's not skip this. I mean, 8 Men Out. There's so many good movies. But my number one, I'm skipping you right now, Bull Durham. Boom. I said it. Believe it. Mic drop, Bull Durham. What is your number one?
I mean, it's Bull Durham. You gotta find out. You gotta find out what you're gonna get them for their wedding gift. Candlesticks, yes. I heard are good.
Candlesticks are great. I don't know, but we're dealing with a lot of stuff here. We want live chicken. Is a live chicken? We need a live chicken. I mean, there's so many live. The thing about this was really neat. I remember a girlfriend I dated, back in high school, played minor league ball. Actually played a little NFL ball too. But he had told me before I went off to play. He goes, "That's the closest it is like in the minor leagues, minus the kind of craziness and the kind of stupid storylines." But he goes, "That's the closest what it's like to live in the minor leagues." Watch it and then experience it and have fun with it. It was a little different when I played than when he played probably 20 years earlier, but at the same time, it is an experience in minor league baseball and the life and the stupidness and the craziness and the road cities and meeting people, girls on the road, and trying to live through life. And at the same time, older players trying to fight their way back and trying to find out where they belong and who they are. There's so many fun storylines, so many different areas, and they're bringing in Latino players. They're bringing in other guys that are super religious, guys that are completely the opposite, and they're on the same team at the same time with each other. It's so cool. It's so much fun.
And Susan Sarandon doesn't get the credit that she deserves. She was the glue in that movie. She was excellent. Without
her and exactly who she was, movie doesn't work. It's a lot of fun, but she's the glue, like you said. She's the glue. She keeps everything together. It's funny. It's all the fun and games, and when it comes back to her, she drives the movie. She is the one, like you said. She does not get enough credit for Kevin Costner and Tim Robbins. So please let us know what you guys think. I mean, we both agreed on number one there. I think I'm happy with that. We can just keep it right there. But I don't even want to. Do you even want to do a consensus?
No, I don't think it's necessary to do a consensus because there's no chance you're going to let the Scout into the top 5. So I'm not going to argue with you all day.
Not even a chance. I thought you'd go with Ed in there. Oh, as if you're going to go with Ed. I'm going to just
I was thinking about Angels in the Outfield. I love me some Tony Danza.
I didn't even know that was a remake.
Yeah,
that's a remake. Didn't know that. What, damn Yankees. We skipped some of these, some of those great movies back in the day too. So please let us know.
We didn't even mention 61.
61, absolutely great movie. That gave the first time I understood what had happened in that race and everything. What both players were going through. Incredible movies. Did we even talk about The Natural?
No.
God, The Natural. So please let us know in the comments. Please let us know. Like the video. Tell your friend. Get on there. Argue with us. Tell us how we're wrong. Why James is wrong and I'm right. And please, just throw it out there and let us know what you're thinking. So on behalf of Man Cave Sports, I'm the DA.
And if you like the Scout, let us know.